more formally. I'm speaking with Dan Egan, who is uh, uh, a well known person in not only New Hampshire, but in skiing in general, because he made his name as an extreme skier at first, but now he's branched out into a lot of other areas, including a very something that is near and dear to my heart, and that is as the general manager at Tenney Mountain. I forget exactly how you framed it in the news release, but basically a revitalized, reimagined Tenney Mountain.
Hey, Wayne, nice to see you. Thanks for that introduction. And yeah, we're excited about the revitalized Tenney Mountain here in Plymouth, New Hampshire.
What Tell me more about the new owners, first of all, I guess.
Yeah, well, we're excited to finally have an owner here at Tenney that understands how to build things, that understands how to develop things. Steve Kelley is a self-made, successful businessman from Dorchester, Boston, and one of the top 15 biggest construction companies in New England, one of the top three cell tower companies in New England and maybe nationally as well, specializing in building specialty buildings, a lot of biotech buildings in and around 128 in Cambridge, as well as some of the biggest world headquarters for Timberland and Puma and other big brands. So he understands big projects. He understands completion and starting and finishing and sticking to a schedule. He understands towers, lift towers, and other things. So we're excited to have him.
Now, I've always thought that Tenney Mountain, despite the fact that it's sort of locally perceived as a small family resort, had the potential to be a real formidable ski area, but that there just didn't seem to be the vision there, and that's why I was so excited to hear that you were going to be involved. What do you see as your role in all this?
Well, Tenney over the years has had a lot of different visions, but not the means to accomplish that. And of course, the asset is quite large, right? There's a big privately owned lot of land, just 7 minutes off the highway, and has been, since the conception and the opening of Tenney by Sam Hall, a 10th Mountain Division, veteran, has always had that potential to become more than it is. And it started to become that in the 80s. The 90s, it had some troubles. I came in as a general manager in 2002 and reopened it after it had been closed for a little bit over 2 years. We had two very successful seasons here. And now stepping back in as the role of general manager is exciting, but also daunting, because since I left in 2004, not much has been done maintenance-wise. So, thanks to the team we have here, we have been able to revitalize the lifts, most of the snowmaking, not all of it, cut the trails back to the original size, trim the trails along the edges so we can make snow without putting snow in the branches and the trees, and cut down all the schwack and mow the trails. That's really important. But really, the vision here is year round. The vision here is world-class mountain biking. The vision here is boutique hotel and amenities, workforce housing, market-priced housing, condos and townhomes up here on the land. Some of that, which has been approved for a couple of decades now, that just hasn't been built on. So it's exciting to see what can be done. And when you have somebody like Steve Kelley, who's, not afraid to accomplish things, things become a lot more real.
How do you see it building out as you look down the road? What's your vision?
Well, right now we're in the process for permitting for a new snowmaking pond, which is a 15-acre pond at the top of the mountain, 35 million gallons of water, which would solve a lot of the long-time woes that have been here at Tenney, lack of water and lack of snowmaking. Once that pond is built by midsummer, fall next year, and filled, next year we'll be opening with 2 lifts, top to bottom skiing, sometime in mid-December. So one, fixing the water problem here is paramount and underway. It's not just being talked about, it's underway. And 2, year-round activities. Gravity Logic, which is one of the biggest mountain bike engineering firms in the North America. We're under contract with them to build out our trails and to compete with Killington and other top mountain biking locations right here on 93. So that mountain biking park, is scheduled to open in 2025. Trail construction begins in April of this 24. So, our vision here is a community. Our vision here is, an independent, family-focused resort that provides value in the face of all of the conglomerate ski areas that surround us.
I always wondered why it was that when I go out west to ski, there's this sort of village atmosphere right at the base of the mountain, and almost nowhere in New England has that model been pursued. You've got you take Waterville Valley. I mean, you got to drive a few miles to get to what is considered to be the village there. And that's true in, of course, Cannon doesn't, because it's state-owned, doesn't have that sort of thing. But have you thought at all about how you're going to utilize sort of that lower area, which is a vast parking lot now? Are you going to do something different with that, or is that going to stay the same?
No, I'm glad you brought that up. Here in New England, most of our ski resorts, were built back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, before the idea of a mountain village, right? And they were laid out such that on a tiered system, right? Parking, you walk up and you kind of make your way to the lift, and there you're at the peak. Tenney, we are in a unique situation that you point out. We do have a lot of land here, a lot of flat land here, where a village or a community can exist. We already have the beginning of that because the condos have been here for quite a long time. There is a community of Tenney Mountain residents. So our vision for that is just that, more community. In the next 12 to 18 months, you'll see housing and development happening here, either part of the existing Eagle's Nest condos, where there's, I think 11 units that have been pre-approved for construction, or the housing that was started 30 years ago, the Mountainside complex, where the sewer and the water and the electric is all in, but never built. We'll start to move in that direction. And while that's happening, you'll see permitting and construction for workforce housing for the area, where people can have housing, to be able to raise a family and live here in the community of Plymouth, New Hampshire, central New Hampshire, as well as a boutique, a hotel right next to the lift. So that idea of community and village is very much part of our vision.
Nice. It seemed to me that that Tenney over the years has been dramatically underutilized. I mean, for example, there's no place in that general area where you can have sort of an outdoor concert or things like that. And
Yeah.
I could see Tenney developing in a way that would provide those kinds of opportunities on a regular basis.
I agree with you, Wayne. You and I both know and love the state of New Hampshire so well. And, we can remember when the Bank Pavilion opened down there in Guilford. I always thought the best spot in New Hampshire for a venue like that would have been Fairgrounds here in Plymouth. The Fairgrounds was a perfect place for a venue like that because it pre-existed.
Mm.
And back in those days, I remember thinking, I remember having the thought and starting to think about it, but didn't act on it. And I wish I had, because I think that's a better spot than the Bank of New Hampshire Pavilion now in Guilford. But here at Tenney, that opportunity exists for major events. And we're going to see that this winter. We're bringing in snowmobile stunt shows and flipping snowmos into airbags, X Games style. When we close the resort after St. Patty's Day in March, we're turning the whole place over to snowmobiling, hill climbing, and racing, and all that sort of stuff. So you're going to see, national disc golf tournaments here. You're going to see, international mountain biking competitions here. All of that stuff is very much in our wheelhouse and fits with the community that surrounds us.
Huh. So, what's the plan for this winter, Dan?
Well, we're with a wing and a prayer. We're going to open December 23rd on the triple eclipse lift with skiing and riding, as well as tubing and beginner skiing on the platter lift. We're introducing a really fun activity, Wayne, which is headlamp lift access skiing at night. So we're not going to light the trails, but everybody will have a headlamp and be up there skiing around the ski area at night. It's really beautiful. It's really quite an experience. It's a guided experience in groups of 4 to 6, and really special.
Huh. So people who purchase a ticket to do that would have a guide with them. Is that the idea?
They do. Yeah, it would be, you'd come and book a group or a private guide, and away you'd go with your friends with headlamps. And as long as the trail is opened, you can ski it. So that could be multiple trails. We've done that before at other ski resorts in the West. It's a lot of fun. It's a great activity. And of course, the bar and restaurant here at the Base Lodge is the Backcountry Bar and Grill is crucial to the success of Tenney. We have a very New England style restaurant, cafeteria, and a beautiful bar with different things going on throughout the week. We have on Fridays, kids eat free, Sunday brunch with music by local high school musicians from around the state are signed up to come here to Tenney for Sunday brunch. So that will be exciting. And every Wednesday, a fixed buffet in the Base Lodge for, priced appropriately for family and value to bring people out during the winter.
Huh. So, okay. So, the December opening, and are you selling season passes, or?
We are. You can. Our season pass is the lowest price, best value, I think, in Central New Hampshire at $450 seasons pass.
Yeah.
And we have all different variations from there. Wayne, when you think about it, our lift ticket on weekends is $65. Our midweek pass is $45. We haven't seen prices like that since the 90s. This is a value proposition. This is the home for skiers and riders that want to come, 3 to 5 times a year, right? These are for the families that love to ski, but may not be invested in a condo at Loon or one of the bigger resorts, but still want to drive up from the city, have an affordable experience, have a great meal, and let their kids discover the wonderment of winter through skiing and snowboarding.
Yeah. Well, I have to tell you that I haven't skied a whole lot in the last 10 years, but when I did, it was usually because we got a big dump of snow and Tenney was close by, so I would head to Tenney, which is a great place to ski, especially if there's powder and good snow.
Oh, our Glade, when I skied here for those 2 winters, 20 years ago. Hard to believe. I enjoyed it, and I've skied all over the world. So, to be excited to ski here at Tenney, the glades, the trails, the head walls we have here at Tenney, they're challenging, they're fun, and it's a beautiful place to be.
Yeah. Now you've had to sort of step back from some other activities in your life as a result of this, I'm sure. Tell us about that experience.
Well, it's throughout the years, I've wasted a lot of perfectly productive days powder skiing, Wayne, and very proud of that. My global search of a free lift ticket has been very, very fun. And I'll still be doing my camps at Big Sky, Montana, four times throughout the winter. You can find me in Big Sky for 3 and 4 days at a time. And my springtime home is Val d'Isère, France. So Tenney will be closed in April, and I guide and bring clients over to France for the month, and we'll ski over there, enjoy a proper espresso and croissant as you do over there, and ski some beautiful powder. But for the most part, I'm here at Tenney, and happy about that. I've spent the better part of 3.5, 4 decades on the road, and it's nice to turn that down a little bit and be here in beautiful central New Hampshire. It's been my home for a very, very long time, and I love it here.
Where did you grow up, Dan?
I grew up originally in West Roxbury in Boston, and then we moved to Milton as a family in the mid-70s.
That's why when you described the new owner as being from Dorchester, you you put on your Massachusetts accent for us.
He's right from Dorchester. He doesn't ski. He's not a skier,
really?
Which is really interesting. And when he met me, he made me understand that we both have the crazy gene, and I related to that. So it's a good partnership, and we're excited about it.
Well, that's wonderful. Well, Dan Egan, thank you very much for taking the time to speak with me, and I will make sure to let you know when we go live with this. But the most important thing is that I'm grateful for not only for the fact that you took the time to speak with me, but for what you're doing for a place that's near and dear to my heart.
And I appreciate that, Wayne. And people can come on out and see the Warren Miller film at the Flying Monkey night after Thanksgiving, or drop in to see me in Laconia Christmas week, December 28 and 29, and up in Gene's Playhouse on the 30th. You get a free Tenney lift ticket when you do. So you check out the schedule at warrenmiller.com. And we're about skiing, and so are you, Wayne, and you understand the generational tie and pull of all of our sports here in New England, where families get together and enjoy all the weather. So I hope people will come out and join us.
All right, Dan. Thanks. Good to see you, my friend.
Great to see you. All the best.